To mark the end of the year, we're taking the opportunity to look back at the biggest news stories. Last night, we saw what happened in the first 6 months of the year. Tonight, TV6's Mallory Anderson wraps up our news year in review with the rest of the top stories of 2016.
The second half of 2016 began with lots of emotions and even healing for many veterans as the AVTT Traveling Vietnam Memorial Wall made its way to Marquette.
I've seen so much healing the last few days. Not only the veterans that have come home and finally had an opportunity to go and touch the wall.
The 4th of July was filled with fireworks and parades, and Norway celebrated more than just Independence Day. July marked their 125th birthday. But July also brought destruction as huge storms, including an EF1 tornado, caused massive damage in Gogebic County and washouts stranded residents at Little Girls Point.
As engineers, we look at events based on a 100-year event or a 50-year storm event. We can't even put the magnitude of this.
When August arrived, so did the primary elections and the large Ahmed Schreiner convention in the UP. We also met Alger, the 11-year-old Ishpeming boy with arthrogryposis, who through a lemonade stand and crowdfunding online was able to get a special bike made just for him. Governor Snyder made a trip to the UP where he even kayaked pictured rocks and stopped by the UP State Fair. Also in August, TV6's Sam Bauman and Blair Caldwell got engaged on live television right here on the TV6 Morning News.
There's just one thing left to do here. Blair Caldwell, will you marry me?
So much, yes. But August would end with heartache as a group of Beartown firefighters from the Keweenaw Bay Indian community were involved in a fatal car crash outside of Minneapolis. 2 of the firefighters died in that crash, with several others seriously injured, and the driver, Michael Johnson, has since been charged with vehicular homicide. And after a half-century of production, the Empire Mine closed, leaving hundreds of workers jobless.
It's a big hole. Every tier, every bench is a lifetime, tuitions were paid, marriages, there's a lot of history in that hole. And to see it go away is sad.
September began with the search for a missing boater off Little Bay Denok. His body was later recovered from the water 4 days after he jumped in to help a friend who had fallen overboard. And an international search and rescue mission occurred only 2 weeks later when 2 men and a 9-year-old boy went missing while fishing off the Keweenaw. The search would come to a heartbreaking close weeks later when their bodies and sunken boat were found 280 feet below Lake Superior. But as September would wrap up, we introduced you to Grayson Johnson, a 4-month-old baby born in Marquette who was placed on the heart transplant list. In November, the little guy received a new heart and is said to be doing great throughout recovery. When October arrived, so did the NHL. As the winners of Kraft Hockeyville USA, Lakeview Arena hosted a preseason game between the Buffalo Sabres and the Carolina Hurricanes, with celebrations also including a parade, autograph signing, 5K race, and more. In October, severe flooding caused major issues for Chocolate Township and even washed out M94. But a familiar face was seen on NBC's The Voice as Carly Metzger, a Gladstone native, competed in the singing competition. With November came the tragic discovery in Rock River Township of the body of Malvika Deshmukh, a downstate woman who had gone missing weeks before. And one of the biggest stories of the year happened in November, the presidential and local elections where many areas saw record voter turnout. Closing out November came the unveiling of the 34-page Marquette County profile in Delta Sky magazine. Just this month in December, Ojibwa casinos in both Marquette and Baraga broke ground on their new multi-million-dollar expansions. And besides the celebration of the holidays, December also marked the 35th year of the TV6 Canathon, where with your help, we were able to collect over 137,000 pounds of food to help feed a hungry neighbor. Mallory Anderson, TV6 News.
Well, the weather was a big part of the news in 2016, from ravishing floods and tornadoes to lake snows and out-of-season snowstorms. Tomorrow, a look at the weather for the first half of 2016.